Mbappe, Pogba and Dybala are all available for free this summer, but they're not the only ones. In this video, I'm going to create the best 11 possible with only players that are available on free transfers, and then discuss which players I think Spurs will target and how they fit in our squad. So to kick things off, let me list every single interesting player that is available for free this summer. In the Premier League, you've got Pogba, Rudiger, Tarkowski, Lacazette, Lingard, Eriksen, Origi, Azpilicueta, Nketiah, Saiss, Pukki, Cavani, Me, Yarmolenko, Mata, Welbeck, Moutinho, Ogbonna, Fernandinho, Milner and Young, with Sam Johnston in the Championship as well. In La Liga, there's Dembele, Aurier, Januzaj, Modric, Suarez, Isco, David Silva, Marcelo and Bale. In Syria, you have Dybala, Belotti, Romagnoli, Felipe, Bernardeschi, Perisic, Mkhitaryan, Cuadrado, Ibrahimovic, De Sciglio, Handanovic, Vidal, Mertens. In League 1, you've got Mbappe, Kamara, Denayer, Di Maria, Sidibe, Ben Arfa and Xavi Simons. In the Bundesliga, there's Ginter, Tolisso, Zagadou and Witsel. And in the rest of the world, aka Ajax, there's Matari. I hope I pronounced his name correct. There were other players that were available for free, like Kessie and Christensen, but they've already agreed to join Barcelona. Sula as well, the Bayern Munich centre-back, has agreed to join Dortmund, and the Ajax goalkeeper Onana has already agreed to join Inter Milan. And trust me, there were a lot more players as well, but these were the most interesting ones that were available. Whew, okay, I'm a bit lightheaded now, but let's get on with making the best 11 possible with those players. So for this team, I've gone for a 4-3-3 formation, as that is quite a common trend at the moment, but we'll do slight variations as well. Now in goal, I've selected Sam Johnston. I would have liked to have gone for the likes of Onana or maybe even Handanovic, even though he's quite old. Both of them have supposedly agreed deals elsewhere or signed extensions, so we're going to have to go with Sam Johnston in goal. Now onto the back four. For right back, I've gone for Matari, the Ajax right back, or right wing back, depending on what formation he plays. And pause the video there. So in typical fashion, just as I'm editing this video, I see on my Twitter timeline that Bayern Munich have agreed to sign both Matari and Gravenberch from Ajax for a total of about 23 million in the summer. So he won't be joining Spurs. He shouldn't really be in this best 11, but just know I do talk about him a lot in this video. So yeah, pretty much just ignore that. Either way, hope you still enjoy the video. Now this player is one that I think is quality because he creates a lot of attack and returns, and he's also very young. For centre backs, I've gone for Rudiger as one of them. Even though he's at Chelsea, I've got to agree he is a very solid centre back. And then with the other one, I was between Ginter and Saiss. Now bearing in mind with this team, I'm genuinely trying to create a balanced team. I'm not just trying to throw the biggest names possible. I'm going to lean towards Saiss because he's left-footed, so I think that'd help out in the back too. Rudiger on the right, Saiss on the left. Now for left back in this formation, I've gone for De Sciglio. Sorry again if I butchered the name. Even though he's predominantly a right back, I think out of all the options available, I don't really want to choose Ashley Young. I don't think he's that great anymore, and obviously he's getting quite old. And same with Marcelo. Marcelo back in the day, 1000%, but right now, I don't think so. I'm going to do what a lot of teams did last year, especially in the Euros, and I'm going to stick a right back at left back. Now this is where it gets a little bit tough. For the midfield three, I've gone for Modric. Doesn't matter how old he is doing insane for Real Madrid. Although I am certain he is going to sign a new deal, but for now he's available for free. With the bags of experience, with the tech, with the trophies, yeah, he's going into this team. Now I've gone for Kamara, the Marseille defensive midfielder for DM, because he brings a bit of youth to the team, and also Marseille are second in League 1 behind PSG. And I feel like with this 4-3-3 formation, we need an outright defensive midfielder to sit in the middle of the three midfielders. And then the final position was tough because for me, it was between Pogba and Eriksen. Now, obviously, I'm a Spurs fan. Eriksen is a no-brainer for me. I would want him back at Spurs, which we'll get to in a bit. But there's no denying that Pogba has huge talent and is sort of being wasted at Man United at the moment. You can tell the love's not there for Man United. So you know what? I reckon if you stick Pogba into this super team, he'll be a top quality player. So we'll choose Pogba for now. Oh, and then the front three. The front three is where we get to have a bit of fun. Now, again, I'm a Spurs fan, so I'm going to be a bit biased in one of these decisions, but I've gone for Bale at right wing. Yes, I know there's big question marks over his fitness and I guess his age, but I'm not being funny. When he came on loan to Spurs last year, he's still put in the numbers for us. I think he got 11 goals and 3 assists potentially, but he only played 900 minutes in the Premier League, and that was the Premier League alone. He also scored a lot for us in the FA Cup and the Europa League, so you know what? He has still got it. You just got to see what he did for Wales. That free kick was nuts. So Bale easily walks into my team at right wing. On the left, it's an obvious one. We've had to go for Mbappe. You can't have Mbappe on the free list and not choose him in this team. So I'd stick him on the left in this formation. Again, some question marks as to whether he's going to sign a contract extension or join Real Madrid, but he hasn't put pen to paper on anything yet. So we'll stick him left wing in this team. And then up front, I've gone for the player that has been eluding Spurs for a couple of seasons now, and that is Dybala. Now, he's a very versatile player, so, you know, he could play sort of as like a false nine because he's more of a centre forward these days, but he has played in a front two with Vlahovic up top, as well as that behind the striker and even on the wings. To have a top quality versatile player like that in my team is very, very important. I've done a couple of variations of it, like I've done a 3-4-1-2 and a 4-2-3-1. It is almost an identical team, but we have stuck Ginter and Seiss into the back three alongside Rudiger. Matari keeps his place at right wing back, but we've actually gone for Perisic at left wing back. Another player, I think he's what, 33 years old. He's getting on a bit, but he did have an amazing season last year under Conte for Inter. And since he's naturally a winger, I think he provides a lot of attacking threat, and he's quite comfortable and very much used to this left wing back role. So I think he's perfect in the 3-4-1-2. And with the formation at 3 at back, I've just stuck with Modric and Pogba in midfield. I feel like with the 3 defenders, you don't need an outright defensive midfielder. But then I've also dropped Bale because I'm going to be playing with 2 strikers up top. So I've chosen Suarez and Mbappe with Dybala behind. So that was the best 11 that I think you can make from all the players that are available for free. Now it's time to see which players that are available this summer that I think Spurs should target. Now, at first, I think it's really important to understand what the Conte criteria is for signing a player to play his formations. We know he usually targets players in their prime because he wants to see instant results. So it's quite rare that he would go for a very young player. He also needs the players to work very hard and play to his exact tactics, which is the 3-4-3 at the moment at Spurs, but it's more to do with the style of play. They'll have instructions and they need to be able to follow them. And the final thing to remember is that wing backs are very, very important in attacking phases under Conte. So they need to be able to provide goals and they need to be able to provide assists. So with all that in mind, these are the 6 players that I've chosen that I think Spurs should target from that list of 3 players. First of all, we're going to start with an ex-Spurs player, and that is the great Dane Christian Eriksen. Now, there was a lot of question marks, obviously, on whether we were going to get back to full fitness given the sort of tragedy that happened last summer of the Euros. But he did join Brentford in January and he is looking on fire at the moment. And Spurs especially as well are kind of lacking that creativity from central midfield. And to be honest with you, we're just lacking depth in that position anyway. So I think it's a no-brainer to bring Eriksen back. He's been refreshed now. He's gone to another team. He's won another league. He's back in the Prem now. He's back to full fitness, looking great again. I think it's an absolute no-brainer bringing him back to Spurs. It's also worth noting that he worked under Conte at Inter, won the league with Inter, and despite having a shaky start, Conte sort of revitalised him and got him to fit into the system pretty well. So Conte, bring him back. Next up is Matari. Apologies if I pronounce his name incorrectly, but he is a quality player that I think can play right wing back because he's providing a lot of goals and a lot of assists for Ajax, and he's doing it in the Champions League as well, which is sort of the level we want to get at. Not only that, he's young, so he sort of fits in with the Spurs philosophy of signing young players. The only downside is Bayern Munich are heavily interested in him, and so are Barcelona. So trying to sign him is going to be very, very difficult. Next up is a player that didn't make the best 11, but I've gone for Romagnoli, the centre-back, the captain of AC Milan, the team that could potentially win the Serie A this season. Now, the only reason I didn't put him in the best 11 is because he's currently injured, or he was injured for a bit. So because there was a few question marks around that, I chose someone else for the best 11. But there's no denying he's a perfect player for Conte at centre-back at Spurs. He's entering his prime at the age of 27. He's a captain. He's a leader. He might have a winner's medal by the end of the season. And what's more, he's left-footed, so I think it's a huge upgrade in our left centre-back positions. And look, there's no denying it. Paratici, Conte, they've all got the links in Serie A. We're going to be heavily invested in the Italian market, so why not get one of the top centre-backs in the league? Like I said earlier though, the main question mark is whether his injuries are serious or not. If not, I think it'd be a fantastic signing. Next up is another one that's in the Italian league, and a player I didn't think I would say, but you know what? I think Spurs could seriously target Perisic. Again, a player that's played under Conte, is used to the 3-back system playing left wing back and is still doing it right now. Yes, he may be 33 years old and could potentially be seen as getting on a bit, but I'm not going to lie to you, he's still providing goals and assists, and Conte likes players that are playing well now. And I think that's something that Perisic could probably do at left wing back. He's also naturally more of a left winger anyway, so his goal threat and his assist threat is going to be sky high, which is something that Conte desperately wants in this left wing back position that Reguilon and Sessegnon haven't really been able to provide for Spurs. The other beauty of it as well is he could actually just move up to left wing in the 3-4-3 if, you know, Son's injured or whatever. So I think regardless, if he doesn't make it into the starting team, for a free player that's worked with Conte before, I think it's a no-brainer for the squad. Now on to number 5. And I think you guys know which one this might be. Is a player that probably would already be in a Spurs shirt if it weren't for a little thing called image rights. Yes, you've guessed it, that is Paulo Dybala. The saga, it ruined a lot of us, including myself. But when he's available for free, I think there's an opportunity we cannot miss. The beauty of Dybala is that he is so versatile. He can play as a centre forward, he can play as a winger. He's played alongside Vlahovic, he's played behind Vlahovic, he's actually even played right wing in a lot of recent games. Yes, there's a lot of concerns of injuries because there's all muscular problems and he's missed 15 games this season. But of the 22 games he's played, he's still got 8 goals and 5 assists. So he's still providing for Juve, even though he's not available as often as they would like. And to be honest with you, if we are dead serious about challenging for anything big next year, we're going to need a squad. There was a lot of chat on Twitter of people saying, how does he fit in with Kulusevski in our formation, this, that, and the other? Look, we don't win anything by having a very good 11. We need a squad. And you're telling me we could potentially have Dybala playing on the wings, playing alongside Kane, playing behind Kane, playing in front of Bentancur and Højbjerg. I think his versatility alone and the fact that he's still in his prime and still providing for Juve is a definite reason for why we should sign him this summer. And yes, we all know we love an Argentinian. He'll already have connections with Romero and of course with Kulusevski and Bentancur being ex-Juve players. And then finally number 6, and I've gone for Gareth Bale. I know I'm gonna be biased. I know there'll probably be a lot of people that say, nah, he's washed. But hear me out. Bale rejoined us last year on loan. That was such a phenomenal day for me because I thought, yes, I'm finally gonna get to see him play again. But then we had all the games behind closed doors. And then when I could finally see him at the League Cup final, yeah, he was dropped. So I think it's redemption time. I think we should bring him back. And I can't lie, again, it provides more cover for right wing. He's going to want to prepare himself and get match fit for the Qatar World Cup. And look, even with the lack of minutes that he had last year, he still got 11 goals and 2 assists like I said earlier. He still looked like a massive threat. And not only that, he is incredible at free kicks. We don't have a free kick taker on our team. And again, to the above point of Dybala, we need to build an amazing squad, not just a first 11. I don't see why we would pass up on this opportunity. So on to the final segment, and this is how Spurs could line up next year if we only signed players available for free. Now, of course, sticking with the 3-4-3 formation, which is the typical Spurs formation right now. We've obviously got Lloris in goal. We'll have a back 3 of Romero, Dyer, and Romagnoli, which I think is a very solid back line. You'll have Matari's right wing back, Perisic left wing back. Then you'll have Bentancur in midfield, and alongside him, you'd either have Højbjerg or Eriksen. It just depends if you want a more attacking player or just a player to, you know, break up the play. And then up top, we'll stick with Kulusevski, Kane's son, but that does mean that we'll have some top players available on the bench, like Bale, like Dybala, and obviously one of Højbjerg, Eriksen. So, you know, we're actually starting to build a tasty little squad here. Now, of course, with these signings, that does mean we can adapt to the 3-4-1-2 formation that a lot of people were talking about that he used at Inter last year. And again, same sort of back line. You'll have Lloris, Romero, Dyer, Romagnoli, Matari, Perisic, all playing wing backs. Bentancur and Højbjerg would be in the midfield too. And then the player behind the striker can be Dybala or Eriksen, with Kane and Son up top. So again, we'll have much better depth in the squad because you'll have the likes of Bale, Lucas, Bergwijn, Kulusevski, Eriksen or Dybala. You know, it just depends on who's playing at the time. But this is a top quality squad going into next season, and that is just with free signings. That wraps it up. What do you make of the best 11 that I created? Could you do better? I don't think I've got it perfect. There was a lot of top players to choose from. So let me know what you would choose out of all of the free players. And then as well as that, do you agree with the players that I think Spurs should sign? If not, who else would you sign to Spurs? That's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.